A couple of days ago, I posted a YouTube video where I casted the StarCraft 2 free-for-all that the 6 StarCraft legends played at BlizzCon. And here's the thing, ever since I posted that video, many of you reached out and asked if I would please go ahead and cast the StarCraft 1 show match that these same guys played as well. Now the problem is, I am not nearly as familiar with StarCraft 1 as I am with StarCraft 2. I've been playing StarCraft 2 pretty much every single day since it released over a decade ago. However, StarCraft 1, I mean, I've played the campaign, I've played the Brood War campaign, of course. I've watched a little bit of the pro scene here and there, but I don't know any strategies. I barely know any of the unit names, so I'm gonna try my very best and cast this game for you. But, I mean, I guess if this makes it to the YouTube channel, right? And if you're listening to this, at the very least, that means it wasn't absolutely horrible? Question mark, maybe? Anyways, let's get started like we always do by introducing the players, because spawning here in the bottom left-hand corner of a Big Game Hunters and playing with the brown Protoss probes, we have MC. Over at the 6 o'clock position with the green Terran SCVs, we have MVP, of course, another StarCraft 2 legend. In the bottom right-hand corner, actually, let me go ahead and introduce that guy last. Sorry, I apologize. The 4 o'clock position with the yellow Zerg drones. I guess this is yellow, yeah. It's a bit of a pale yellow, but we're looking at Nestea's main hatchery. Top right-hand corner, we have a Rain. And then, I guess with the puke-colored Zerg hatchery, whatever this color is, what is this color? You see that thing on the scoreboard? It's a bit nasty. Anyways, he goes by the name of Effort. Okay, now this game is certainly going to require a little bit of effort from me as well, because I think that this is going to be a little bit different. Anyways, by the way, in case you're wondering, are these actually the StarCraft Reforged, or what's it called? The StarCraft Remastered graphics? They sure are. If you hit F5 on the keyboard in StarCraft 1 Remastered, you can see what the graphics actually used to look like. In my memory, they used to look a little bit better as well than that, but I guess nostalgia is pretty strong. Regardless, Effort is already sending out a couple of Zerglings to watch what seems to be, I guess, the top right-hand section of the map. Yep. Seems like they are heading straight on over there. Now, StarCraft 1, of course, completely different game, very different pace compared to StarCraft 2 at the very least. These units are going to be quite a bit more powerful as well. There is going to be, what is that? Ooh, well, it got killed right away. I was going to say, I think there's a Forge here, right? So he's going to be able to make a Photon Cannon if he wants to. One Zealot is available right now. I don't think a Forge is going to be a very bad idea. A couple of probes so far here were killed. Looks like the Zealot actually may end up getting surrounded as well. That is not ideal at all, and already there's a whole lot of damage right here being done inside of Rain's main base. I've got a feeling he really needed to get a Photon Cannon going, but then again, I'm not familiar with this game at all, so I can't really tell you. I just feel if you're gonna go for that Forge, right? It's not a terrible suggestion. We did see one of the structures getting picked off. Another probe will end up going down here, and this is disastrous at the cost of such a small amount of Zerglings. Obviously, one thing that's worth pointing out as well is that Effort did decide to go for the spawning pool pretty much right away. Meaning that, oh my god, did you see that Zealot getting stuck there in the mineral line? I forgot that that is even a thing. Anyways, obviously, he did cut his own economy quite a bit as well. He's got a lot more links coming in, though. In the meantime, we have Nestea here expanding relatively comfortably. Already taking a third hatch here as well, it seems. Okay. Bottom right-hand corner, so far last is looking, yeah, pretty well defended. He's going to go for what seems to be a factory right now that's currently under construction here. But I guess the real action is still right over here in the top right-hand corner. Photon Cannon will finish up here shortly. A couple of Zealots are available here too, so as soon as that Photon Cannon finishes up, things should be quite a bit more easy here for the Protoss player with the orange colors, but yeah. Eventually, I mean, right now, obviously, Effort sees that this Photon Cannon is done. He's going to be able to run away and keep most of his Zerglings alive. In the meantime, okay, a couple Photon Cannons over here instead of MC's main base. I don't really know exactly how familiar the StarCraft 2 guys are with the StarCraft 1 games. It seems that a lot of the StarCraft 2 professionals from Korea, especially the older ones that are retired right now, right? So MC, MVP, and Nestea, all of those players are retired. It seems that they did play StarCraft 1 at some point in time, so, you know, we'll, I don't really know exactly how familiar they are, but I can make the assumption, I think we can make the assumption that at the very least they know the game quite a bit better than me. Which doesn't say a whole lot, but it seems like a lot of StarCraft 1 professionals have played StarCraft 2 and vice versa. Okay. So far, Effort Zerglings are not really getting a whole lot done here. I mean, they killed, obviously, a bunch of the probes here in the top right-hand corner, but if you look right now at the eco that he's actually got, there's very little going on here. In StarCraft 1, you start off with just 4 drones. for workers here in general, which is just insane if you compare it to StarCraft 2, right? Some people still ask to reduce the worker count that you start with in StarCraft 2 to, you know, just the 4 or 6. I actually really like the fact that we start with way more these days. It just makes it more comfortable. Regardless, Nestea over here has got himself a couple of sunken colonies, and those are obviously absolutely fantastic. Earlier on, we can really only expect ground-based units, right? And, well, those sunken colonies are going to be absolutely fantastic. In case you're unfamiliar, those are basically the StarCraft 1 edition of spine crawlers. They can't be uprooted, but they are indeed plenty powerful to get rid of early game units just fine. And this is nice here for Nestea because it means that he's going to be able to just happily continue, building up his economy. There's only one gas, of course, per base as well in StarCraft 1, so it's a little bit different. I mean, there's 2 over here, but only 1 on the expansion runner. I know some bases, actually, some main bases only give you 1. And the Zerglings actually run in. They're going to scout that there is a Spire here as well, but not a whole lot that he's going to be able to do here anyway. I wonder if this is actually the reason why we do see Nestea grabbing that expo rather quickly. There's a lot of resources available here. And actually, you know what? Since he cut basically everything, yeah. These Zerglings are still getting quite a bit of work done. Man, this game, it's got such a charm, right? I really love this game as well. Even though I'm not really too familiar with it, there's something beautiful about it. One thing that's so straightforward when you play StarCraft 2 for an extended period of time, and by the way, there's a couple of Dark Templar apparently already out here for MC, but when you play StarCraft 2 for a long time, simple things like units moving around, you take those for granted, right? If you send a bunch of Dragoons or a couple of Goliaths, right, to watch the other side of the map in StarCraft 1, they oftentimes will literally walk in the opposite direction. It's actually insane. Now, there is a detector over here. Overlords are detectors, although these are not going to be helping the Terran player out all too much. All right, well, he's going to be in a little bit of trouble as those Dark Templar already started working pretty much right away. Oh, okay, Effort decided to leave here. I guess he wasn't too happy with the amount of eco that he still had and with the amount of stuff that he was able to do. I mean, going for such an early pool is a bit of a shaky start anyway, right, in a free-for-all. I mean, it's fine in a 1 versus 1, but I don't really like it too much in a free-for-all. Because usually the player that gets to just sit back and macro is going to be the one who's most comfortable. Regardless, the Dark Templar, yeah, they're going to try and get some damage done, but MC apparently is going to be forced to make the Walk of Shame a little bit later. Alrighty. There is a dropship. Apparently, there were a couple of siege tanks that tried to be dropped off as well over at the 12 o'clock position. The Dark Templar, though, will be spotted here. Overlords in StarCraft 1 are detectors. But look at the Muta count, right? It's already happily growing right here for Nestea. Should be able to get rid of that Overlord really easily. Oh, what? What? Hello! You should be getting rid, rather, of that dropship here together with the 2 siege tanks relatively easily. Yep, pretty much free. Oh, you can zoom out real far. Ooh. I didn't even realize you could zoom out that far. That's pretty amazing. I mean, it's not very comfortable to watch, but pretty amazing nonetheless. Okay, anyways, let us go back down to watch a more watchable speed. We see the Goliaths right here facing off against the Mutalisks. Of course, all of the units just interact very differently, right? So in case you're unfamiliar with Goliaths, they're basically like little mini Thors. You can produce them quite a bit easier. Turns out having a couple of missile turrets would not have been a luxury, though, here for last. These Mutas, since in StarCraft 2 you have a limit as far as the amount of units that you can actually put on one hotkey, it seems like there's quite a few of them right now, but you can only have, well, I guess technically speaking up to 12, but realistically more like 11 because you need to put yourself an Overlord on the control group as well so you can actually stack them together a little bit nicer. Either way, these units are very capable of dealing a lot of harassment damage. Now, who's mostly left alone so far? We have right over here MVP, right? MVP is just biding his time, right? He's just sitting back, having a blast. He's letting his opponents battle, and that's fine, because he's not gonna have to expend here anytime soon. I am still really liking Nestea's position, though, mostly because of the fact that he's got an Expo. The Expo, obviously, super helpful here. It's just gonna give him a little bit more, a little bit more economy, right? He's gonna be able to build up that economy over time here as well. A Reaver is already available here for Rain. Rain, of course, it's going to be able to queue up some additional Scarabs as well, which, yes, they do not auto-build in StarCraft 1. You need to queue up everything. Another thing that always, like, struck me. Whoa, a nuclear launch has been detected? Wait, whereabouts? Hold up, where is it? Oh, okay, I'm pretty sure I found it. So, a couple seconds here before I pause the game. We see a dropship over here, all the way at the bottom section of the screen. The two Terran players apparently are gonna start harassing each other already. So I think there's a ghost inside of this thing. There it is. And it is ready to launch a tactical nuke. There we go. Okay. I was gonna say, like, how can I even see this? Because... There we go. It's right over there. That little red dot is so difficult to spot here. I guess there's only one base to really look for, though. Does he have detection here? He should have detection here as well, right? Oh my god, the Goliaths, they're so dumb! Oh my god, StarCraft 1 units are dumb. Alright, well, it's gonna land. And there we go. Little bit of damage will be done. I was gonna say, though, one of the things that you take for granted, for example, in StarCraft 2... is just having a rally point to put your workers on minerals. It's the most obvious thing ever, but it's not the case in StarCraft 1. In StarCraft Brood War, you have to manually send every single one of those drones towards the mineral patch. Now, already, though, we have a nice little push here from MC. Apparently, the Dark Templar didn't work very well. They've decided to merge together right over here inside of a Dark Archon, which is okay. Mutas have decided to come back home as well, but the Natural already has taken a lot of damage here. Okay. I think eventually, though, this should be defended. Dragoons are pretty powerful, but... Yeah, he's going to be able to get enough Mutas here, I think, to eventually push all of this back. At the same time, we have Rain still sitting back in the top right-hand corner as well. Not bad at all. There's a Queen's Nest already available here, too, for Nestea, so he was looking to certainly tech up. Okay, the natural expansion has fallen for Nestea. And MC actually now is the one who's got an expo. Okay. So, in a game of big game hunters, right? Especially when it's a 6-man free-for-all. I think this should be an 8-player map. But anyways, I think in a 6-man free-for-all, the player that's just kind of in the corner, right? A little bit further away from everyone should be the one who feels pretty comfortable. Maybe that's also the reason why, so far, MVP has played relatively... Oh, well, alright. Relatively passively. He's just been sitting on his one base, not really... you know, doing a whole lot, other than going for the tactical nuke. And actually, speaking of which, he's nuked his right door neighbor. Apparently, the left door neighbor is going to be next. Does he have any detection? There it is. Another red dot, this time around on the Nexus. At the same time, there is an observer at the front. This is from Rain, though. He's all the way in the top right-hand corner. Is there an observer here as well for MC? Okay, well, he spotted the little red dot. Man, even when you know the ghost is there, it's difficult to spot, huh? It feels so old school. I love it. Mutas at the same time also harassing the natural expansion. Some storms do end up going down here. Alright. So all of a sudden, MC is forced to deal with two different types of aggression. Nice. Okay. Look at this. So, I love the way that MVP is playing this so far. Nukes both of his neighbors and then decides to go straight into battle cruisers. Battle cruiser operational. I think it's a little more. Battle cruiser operation. I don't really remember. It's been a long time. Did someone page me? What unit is that again? I'm not sure. They came from behind. Wait, different game. Different game. That's Warcraft 3. Alright. So, despite the fact that MC was in a little bit of trouble here, he's still got a very reasonable economy. I think he's not looking too bad here, right? He's going to be able to basically take the entire left side of the map here if he gets the time. The leg enhancement seems to be done right here, so these zealots are going to be able to dart around the map quite quickly. This is going to be a one-base hive right now, though, here. Very different. So what exactly is he going to make at the hive tech? We'll see here in just a little bit. Bottom right-hand corner, though. Last is going to be the one who's slowly expanding. So a command center, while still burning here a little bit, it's going to float on over towards the natural expansion eventually. Apparently a bunch of siege tanks have decided to siege up inside of his own mineral line in the natural expansion. Ooh, and once again, we saw a nuke right over there flying across the screen, but this time around, it looks like the ghost got sniped in the bottom right-hand corner. Okay. So he can apparently hit a couple of structures of his next-door neighbor from his own natural. There can only be one Terran, apparently, last. MVP got himself an Expo too. Okay. And slowly everyone's expanding, right? Even though Nestea was in a really wonderful position earlier, right now I'm not entirely convinced. So he's gonna go for the Greater Spire. Okay. So in StarCraft 1, the mutas are the ones that mutate into other units. So in StarCraft 2, obviously, you morph into Corruptors, but there's no such thing in StarCraft 1. In Brood War, you gotta get yourself your mutas if you want to get some Guardians out, which I think is gonna be the plan right here for Nestea. Okay, Rain over here gets the perfect observer, right? Just to scout out what's going on. He sees, okay, everyone's battling. He's just happily sitting in the top right-hand corner. Maybe this is the moment, though, where he has decided, you know what? If you guys are busy in the bottom left, I'm gonna go ahead and see how my brother is doing over here. Knock, knock, who's there? It's a million Dragoons going up against a couple of Mutalisks. There are a couple of Sunkens. Yeah, he hasn't retaken his natural. Okay, I was gonna say, like, you don't really need to push in there, I don't think, if you know that your opponent hasn't quite taken that base yet. Maybe it's a better idea to take the expansion of your own. Now, by the way, these naturals, I just realized this, they're so closely together. Look at that. A couple of High Templar are coming up as well. Can we switch over to the nostalgia graphics here for a sec? There we go. I know some of you are intensely nostalgic for this kind of stuff. Pretty fantastic. Man, they really have done a good job, though, making this game play a lot more modernly. It's really nice. Okay, here's the Reavers. Throwing the Scarabs right here in the direction of the sunken colonies. Health bars will show us how much is actually remaining now. Here's those Guardians that I was talking about. Nicely done here. There is some anti-air available. It's just difficult to actually engage them. He's still pushing forward, though. This is Nestea, or sorry, Rain right now tightening the noose here on Nestea. You gotta be careful, by the way. Another big difference between StarCraft 1 and StarCraft 2 is that StarCraft 2 has smart casting. If you say, for example, right, you have 5 High Templar in a hotkey group and you click Storm here. If all High Templar at that point are in range, all 5 of them will storm at the exact same location. It's actually brutal. You got to individually click the units in order to get it done. Now, that being said, are there going to be enough mutas here and enough anti-air here in general to destroy all of the Dragoons? Dragoons, of course, incredibly tricky right now. We see a storm going down as well inside of the mineral line here. Tremendous amount of damage here is being done by Rain, and while I doubt that there is gonna... Oh my god! That storm. Well, I doubt that there is gonna be enough here to finish all of this off. This is, well, pretty much everything that Nestea worked for dead, right? Here's more Zealots now coming up. Zealots in StarCraft 1 also do not mess around. In the meantime, though, looks like the battle cruisers have moved forward. They're harassing the natural expansion here of MC. I feel like this is another expansion that he can very easily access, but apparently, ooh, big storm over here. It is gonna soften up those big boys just a bit. But yeah, the Zealots are gonna go to town, and Nestea, therefore, is not gonna be able to stay in the game now. I think they may have very well removed chat or something from the replay. I know that it is something you can do in StarCraft 1. I think that's what's going on here, because I don't think like any of these guys would rage quit, right? Like they didn't leave with a GG. I didn't see any GLHFs or any chats in general either, so pretty sure that's what happened here in the replay. Regardless, the Zealots, they have finished the job. Both Zerg players right now have been eliminated. Alrighty, so here come the photon cannons. They're going to be planted down at the newly acquired base right here for MC, who's expanding towards his, well, I guess I was going to say third, but he's expanding towards his new natural, his new second base. At the same time, though, it looks like there's a tremendous amount of units here inside of the main base of MVP. MVP was so busy harassing the Zerg player, or sorry, the Protoss in the bottom left, that his own main base is now going to be gone. I guess one way, though, to defend your own main is to start harassing their natural expansion and crossing your fingers, hoping that those Goliaths decide to return. Apparently, for now, I mean, there's some damage here being done. Goliaths obviously fantastic when it comes to hitting air. Here we go. I think that all of the Goliaths will be picked up here, or at least some of the Goliaths will be picked up here, and they're going to be brought back home towards the natural to try and prevent those battle cruisers from killing literally everything. Okay, here they come. The dropships are going to be able to unload here. These battle cruisers, though, oh my god, this is what MVP rather has been building up the entire game long. And I've got a feeling, oh my god, even the sound effect is nostalgic, right? I've got a feeling that they're not going to be able to go very far. Alright. So, that is, I guess, for all intents and purposes right now, the Terran player over here in green dead. Loved what he was doing. going for the good old nukes into the good old battlecruisers, but it just sadly was not enough for him. He's not dead yet, but I feel like it's not too much longer right now for him. Rain, though, he's got himself that kill on Nestea, right? And that right now allows him to comfortably take this base. One nice thing, since he knows as well that his opponent up top was... Yeah, he's been gone for a long time over here. He's just going to destroy whatever he can find, and then he can slowly expand on over towards that direction if he wants to. It's going to be quite nice out of the way. He could take the expansion a little bit further up as well, but right now he's the only only player right here in the top half section of the map. Alrighty, so far things aren't going so poorly, right? I was a little bit concerned today that the game would be way over my head and that I wasn't going to be able to do a particularly good job, but I mean, so far I think that this is acceptable. I would actually really like to get into casting other games as well. It's just that, you know, StarCraft 2 is my true love, okay? Like, StarCraft 2, we're in a committed relationship, but it's also very modern in the sense that I see lots of other video games on the site. If you watch my Twitch live stream, you know that I play pretty much everything. I am polygamerous, is what we call that, I believe. Anyways, in case you're interested, by the way, in other games, check out my second channel, youtube.com/morelowko. It's where I post completed playthroughs of games that I've streamed on Twitch. Now, look at this. I don't know every single ability that these Dark Archons have. They have Confusion, right? They have Mind Control, obviously, which is fantastic too. I think they have one more. Regardless, essentially what we have is a bunch of glowy boys. They get morphed in from Dark Archon, and they're very keen on stealing the opponent's stuff. Zealots over here will find out that there's a whole lot of photon cannons on the left side of the map. Now, apparently, with that spotted right now, we see a couple of the other units making their way over in that direction too. Storm goes down on at least some of the opposing Dragoons. Okay. Nice little bit of aggression here. I think that means that for the time being, Rain is going to have to at least be a little bit more cautious, right? If he moves it over in that direction, sure, maybe he can kill some of this, but he's also going to be very vulnerable towards his own natural. Yeah, exactly. Like, yeah, you can maybe go after MC's third base, but then you have to leave your entire natural basically undefended. Well, here's the reinforcements coming up. There's also an Arbiter up ahead. Arbiter, basically a little mini mothership. It's got recall as well, which is the most important thing you seem to know about, or need to know about it. It cloaks underneath too, which is why some of those units were, like, shaded for a little while. Okay. So I think there's some units right now heading on over towards the main base here of Rain. I don't really know exactly if Last is familiar with the fact that Rain is now preoccupied on the left side of the map, but he's going to get there at, I think, a really, really nice timing. While MC and Rain are battling, we do now see the couple of units, I think, unloading here inside of the main base of the Protoss player, and that's actually a lot of units. Didn't look like that many dropships, but this is scary, man. Those siege tanks are going to be difficult to break, tucked between all of those Protoss pylons. Okay. Can I... Oh, yeah. I can remove the scoreboard as well. I can remove the minimap, too. There we go. Look at the Zealots right now, derping in the natural. I guess not too much has changed in that regard. Okay, we do see some stasis here as well being utilized. So that means that those siege tanks are going to be in stasis. But at the very least, you know what? In a way... Last is right now helping out MC, even though he probably doesn't know it. He's helping out MC in the sense that this army had to return all the way back home just to clean up his own main base. Now, even though I already was kind of counting MVP out, he has recovered reasonably well, right? This time around, though, rather than dealing with a Terran player, yeah. We see the battlecruisers over here changing side as Mind Control was utilized. Now, Mind Control, by the way, is a little bit different than, for example, Neural Parasite. These units are now going to be permanently MCs, which is just insane. So MVP is once again getting the short end of the stick. He's right now helping out the Protoss player, which is not what his intention was with those battlecruisers at all. Love the fact that they're going for some meme strategies as well, right? Really cool. Alrighty, there we go. MVP is out of the game too. So Effort is gone, Nestea is gone over here, and then we also have the Protoss player in green that's going to be gone. Now, I think that indeed, no, we are going to have to see these units turn around. The problem is, yeah, your third base is in a lot of trouble right now, MC. He's got a lot of supply, by the way, which is nice and all, so he's going to be able to easily, you know, fight this once he gets over there, but in StarCraft 1, it takes forever for your units actually to get in position. Look at this. This is Dragoons over here, okay? Dragoons are just... He probably sent it to go back home, and instead it's like, okay, you know what? I'm gonna head on over there and check out what the dead space is. Okay. The dropships, I'm very intent on calling them Medivacs, but the dropships are coming back home. They're gonna try their very best to, well, maybe drop to, or live to drop another day. Oh, here's the recall! Oh, there it is. Okay, so the Arbiter got killed, but the recall did go off, which means that the Zealots and the Dragoons right now are being sent into the main base here of the Grey Terran player. Last, though. Yeah, he's desperate. He doesn't want to get last. Sorry, his name is just too easy to make puns with, okay? I think actually with the amount of siege tanks that he had set up here and with the amount of missile turrets set up as well, he was prepared for this. Not really too concerning. I mean, he lost a lot of units, don't get me wrong, but at the very least, he didn't lose literally everything. One Zealot over here as well. It's now got 9 kills already. Not bad. Yeah, this is becoming a pretty epic game, right? So we have 3 players who I think are still all very capable of winning. Rain, though, as far as the supply count goes, is really not looking nearly as hot, right? So Rain currently at 69. That's pretty nice. But Last is sitting at 155. MC at over the supply cap because of all of those units that he's been happily stealing. He can now apparently go up to 210 supply. Not bad. Can you mind control an SCV and build your own command center, please? Just for the memes? Oh, wait, is that exactly what he did? Oh, I missed it! Oh, that's so sick. So wait, how exactly does this work? Is he now going to be able to start making supply depots? Is he then going to be able to go up to 400 supply? Is that how it works? I'm not even sure how it works in StarCraft 2. We never see neural parasites on an SCV to build his own command center, right? It would take like 7 neural parasites. Anyways, apparently right now, yeah, Last decided to march on over towards the top right-hand corner. Rain is not gonna have enough to hold that, so he also has left the game. And right now that means we have a 1 versus 1 between a Terran Protoss, a Pro-Ran, a Teratos. Teratos? Sure, Teratos, that sounds good. Sounds like some sort of, I don't know, dinosaur or something. Anyways, the center base over here is now being constructed by the Terran player, which is nice. The Teratos, though, has got himself a whole lot of static defense over here, and obviously still a lot of Dark Archon, too. He's ready to steal some of these units if he can, but it's going to be difficult to get there. How exactly is he going to try and engage this? I love that he took the expansion for the memes, but he's still in a little bit of trouble, huh? So this Zealot over here, actually, I think that's the one that belonged to Rain earlier, but it's now leaving the base alone for the time being. I mean, actually, yeah, since Rain obviously has left the game, that Zealot is not going to be able to achieve too much. Okay. Now, yeah, you're going to have to fight this at some point, right? Do you want to go through your choke point that you made for yourself? I'm not entirely sure. Dark Archon there gets sniped pretty easily, but there's some good juicy storms going down on all of those siege tanks and all of those Goliaths. A couple of tanks apparently move around the back here as well, which I like a lot. They're going to be able to shoot over the river, which is not bad at all. Is there going to be enough right now to break through this? I think there might just be. Yeah, MC is going to make sure that... Ooh, these units are not going to be able to mine very easily, but those Goliaths are also not going to be able to shoot for very long. Siege tanks over there. Oh, wow. Mind control once again. They're going to be gunning themselves down. Well, I mean, you got to unsiege them, I suppose, but maybe he's still looking for the unsieging hotkey. Either way, most of those have been dealt with as well. Command center, not going to live. And with that, MC is marching forward. He's now a solid 50 supply up, 60 supply up on his opponent. There we go. Math in a video, not even once. But breaking this position, I think, is one of the more important parts, because right now he can definitely move forward. A lot of supply is caught up as well in these dropships. I don't know if that's necessarily what you're looking for, right? Okay. Man, I love the way that he's playing this, though. There it is. Yeah, look at this. So he's now sitting at 242 supply. I'm pretty sure the supply depots, together with the pylons, stack. It's something that Blizzard probably never considered when they coded this game back in, like, 1998. They probably did not consider the fact that players would actually be able to mind control an SCV. I mean, they never even contemplated that there was going to be a multiplayer, like, SCV scene, right? Or, sorry, like, StarCraft scene, right? They never considered that at all. So I love the fact that these are the quote-unquote bugs that are more or less features. So right now we saw a scan going down there. And I think that is an indicator right now that Last sees. Wait a second. Wasn't he a Protoss? He's going to be able to spot exactly what's going on here, and he sees that indeed nothing is what it seems. Are there units inside of these dropships? There's a couple. Dragoons are spawning. There's a couple of these photon cannons here as well. Whole lot of army here, though, has been moving on over. MC has got a bunch of army units, but yeah, looks like the reinforcements are going to be able to clean this up relatively nicely. Okay. I like how the SCVs aren't mining. You gotta actually, like, select them and then right-click them to a mineral patch, right? And ideally also split them up so they actually move so a little bit more efficiently. Look at this army of freaking Dark Archons. By the way, just to clarify, Dark Archons, if I'm not mistaken, literally don't have an attack of their own. So they're just purely spellcasters. I actually never understood why they got rid of those in StarCraft 2. So if you morph two High Templar together in StarCraft 1, you get a regular Archon. If you morph two Dark Templar together, you get a Dark Archon. Which are two, I mean, they look similar, but they're very, very different units when it comes to their actual, you know, in-game uses. Battle cruisers coming in from the left. Siege tanks now also set up over here on the left side. SCVs and probes are helping each other mine a base. SCVs are returning minerals towards the Nexus. Something went horribly wrong there, and here it is. MC is apparently the one who obtains the victory in this 6-man StarCraft 1 free-for-all. I hope you enjoyed watching this video. That actually didn't go nearly as badly as I anticipated it was going to. I mean, obviously, there's not that much strategy to discuss in a, you know, a 6-man free-for-all, right? If there was going to be a 1 versus 1, I'd have to get familiar with the standard strategies and the standard, you know, options that players will go for on the different maps. But in this particular game, I think it worked out reasonably well. Anyways, for now, I hope you enjoyed watching this video. If you're new here, don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you get notified as soon as future videos go up. But I want to thank you for watching. Have an awesome day. Don't forget to smile. And I'll see you once again in the next one.